Pragmatism, also known as experientialism, is all about dealing with problems that can be dealt with physically, kind of the opposite of idealism. For pragmatists, only those things that are experienced or observed are real. In this late 19th century American philosophy, the focus is on the reality of experience. Unlike the realists and rationalists, pragmatists believe that reality is constantly changing and that we learn best through applying our experiences and thoughts to problems as they arise. Pragmatists see the universe as dynamic and evolving, a becoming view of the world. The world changes constantly, and as the world changes, new experiences are the best way to teach. There is no absolute and unchanging truth, but rather, truth is what works. Pragmatism is derived from the teaching of people who believed that thought must produce action, rather than linger in the mind and lead to indecisiveness.
There were three main followers of the pragmatism philosophy. The first well-known philosopher was Charles Sanders Peirce. Charles graduated from Harvard University in 1859 with a degree in chemistry. In 1878, he published How to Make Our Ideas Clear, a paper on using logic to make our thoughts and ideas clearer. This was just one of his many papers on the way we think and the scientific approach to experiments and knowledge. Charles developed the three stages of true understandings: unreflective understandings, aware of characteristics enough to explain topics, and applying the concept elsewhere. When it came to the followers of Peirce's work, he didn't have many because of his bad morals and ethics. The second well-known philosopher of pragmatism was William James. James was said to have been a friend of Peirce while at Harvard. James had a lot of the same thoughts on pragmatism as Peirce, but he had some differences as well. James thought that pragmatism was about searching for the truth. He thought that the test of an idea is in its truth or workability. James taught at Harvard for 35 years and founded one of the first psychology laboratories in the United States. He published the book Principles of Psychology, a book that covered a wide variety of concepts of psychology but focused on the stream of consciousness, habit, emotion, and will. James is known as the father of psychology and set the stage for John Dewey. John Dewey is the third and most recent philosopher on pragmatism. Dewey's beliefs were based on the idea that the importance and value of vocational education stemmed from the ability of the individual to learn by doing. Dewey graduated from the University of Vermont with a degree in philosophy. He then went on to teach at universities such as Michigan and Minnesota after receiving a doctorate from Johns Hopkins University. In 1869, he founded the Laboratory School in Chicago, where he served as the director until 1904. Dewey's major development was the problem-solving method, which serves a dual role in education. This problem-solving method starts with a learner-experienced felt need, creating a hypothesis or problem statement, and then the student develops a potential solution, and lastly, the student solves the problem. Dewey was a strong believer that the student's interest in a subject would spark their inner motivation.
Pragmatist philosophy is rooted in the idea that children learn best through experience. In a classroom setting, this could be expressed in several ways depending on the material being taught. The only real limitation on teaching with a pragmatist ideology is the imagination of the students and the instructors. For example, a pragmatist approach to a biology lesson would center around students planting seeds and tending plants, learning important scientific lessons as they go. In an English class, a teacher could assign the students to create a book or presentation, guiding their creative process and allowing the students to work together in writing and delivering their message. Language learning could involve creating an area of the classroom where students hold discussions or work together in that foreign language. In a pragmatist classroom, regardless of the subject, the instructor acts as a facilitator for the students, guiding their learning through scientific inquiry, reasoning, testing, and discovery. The instructor helps facilitate the lesson, but ultimately it is the students' social interactions that shapes the lesson and guides the class's learning.